Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Friday, September 5th, 2025. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put those baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, the games I love the most, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, as well as my plays in college football and the NFL this weekend. Really excited for week 1 of the NFL and week 2 of the college football season. You can find those plays individually, or you can grab a long-term plan to get you everything, including my baseball. So check it out at Pick Dawgz Premium, and there is a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Friday in Major League Baseball. First up, an afternoon game between the Nationals and the Cubs. We've got Javier Assad and Jake Irvin as the projected starters. Now, it does look to be cooler temperatures in Chicago in the low 60s, but the wind also looks to be blowing out to right field about 13 miles per hour. And I do think that we're going to see some offense in this game. Don't love either of these starting pitching options. Jake Irvin, steep ERA, not a great expected numbers as well. And the underlying numbers, if you look at the average exit velocity, the hard hit percentage, barrel percentage, all well below league average. I think the Cubs can get to Irvin, even though their offense has not been the best in the second half of the year. I still expect them to get to Irvin, and I also think the Nationals can get to Assad, who's got a 4.05 ERA in his first 20 innings this season, but a 5.53 expected ERA and a 3.14 expected batting average. I look for both starting pitchers to struggle. I don't love this Nationals bullpen. Even the Cubs bullpen at times could struggle, so I like the over in Nationals-Cubs. Next up, we've got the Toronto Blue Jays taking on the New York Yankees. We've got Kevin Gausman and Cam Schlittler as the starters. Should be a great series here. Obviously, the AL East is still up for grabs. Blue Jays the front runners right now, but Yankees could make up some ground, especially with a series sweep or even a series win. I think they will win this series. I think it starts in this first game where Schlittler's been pitching really well for New York, and the Yankees have won his last 3 starts. He's got great strikeout numbers. His control's been excellent. Hasn't given up a home run in 4 straight games. On the flip side, Gausman's pitched pretty well as of late, but the Blue Jays have not backed him up. They've lost 4 straight of his starts, and a couple of those games against teams like the Marlins and Pirates. You're on the road here at Yankee Stadium against the Yankees lineup that's done very well against Gausman in the past. In about 270 plate appearances, they've got a really steep expected slugging percentage, and guys like Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton combined for 9 home runs against Gausman in the past. So I think that the Yankees can get to Gausman. I think that Schlittler pitches pretty well. It's a tough matchup, but I think that the Yankees will back them up. It's going to be a competitive series. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a high-scoring series with how well these offenses have been recently. But give me the Yankees in Game 1 on the money line. Next up, we've got the White Sox and the Tigers. We've got Shane Smith and Jack Flaherty as the starters. Now, these are 2 of the least profitable starting pitchers in Major League Baseball going at it, but Flaherty by far is the least profitable in Major League Baseball this year. I can't back him in this spot. I think that Smith is honestly the better option in this game right now. And while the White Sox bullpen is tough to watch, their lineup has been really strong in the second half of the season. We've seen them play competitive baseball as of late. I'm going to roll with Chicago plus the 1.5 runs on the money line in this one. Next up, we've got the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. We've got Quinn Priester from Milwaukee. No official starter right now for the Pirates. Now, this is pretty fitting in my opinion. You've got Quinn Priester looking for 17 straight starts that end in a Milwaukee Brewers victory. They've won 16 straight of his outings. The last time he took a loss, or the last time the Brewers took a loss in his starts, was back on May 24th. It was against his former team and the team he's facing in this game, the Pittsburgh Pirates, where Priester went 6 innings of 1-run ball with 7 strikeouts, but it ended up being a 2-1 win for the Pittsburgh Pirates at PNC Park, where they've been so solid this year, won the series over the Dodgers, and have a record of above 10 games above 500 at PNC this year. We have not gone against this streak, for the most part. I don't know if it's been. I don't think we've taken them 16 straight times, but at least 10 times. I mean, this has been house money central with Quinn Priester on the mound for Milwaukee. But I'm going to go against them in this spot. I haven't done it in a long time, but I think this is the spot where the Pirates, who have played so well at home, they were able to win that game against Priester earlier in the season, pick up the W. Their high leverage options out of the bullpen got the day off on Thursday. I'm going to go Pittsburgh money line in this one. Next up, we've got the New York Mets taking on the Cincinnati Reds. We got David Peterson and Andrew Abbott as the starters. Now, I think we've seen these 2 teams play at Great American over the years. Some really exciting, high-scoring games, competitive games that were really close. We've seen some blown saves, some extra innings contests. I think we're going to see some of that this series, But, this was definitely one that we had circled, a couple weeks ago, where the Reds were only a game and a half, 2 games out of the wild card spot. Since then, Cincinnati struggled. The Mets have picked up some W's, and now it's not even the Reds, as the next team closest to the Mets. It's the Giants that leapfrog the Reds in the National League wildcard standings. So maybe not as exciting of a series as we thought it was going to be. This is a 4-game series as well. But I still think this first game is going to be a lot of fireworks. I like the over in this one. David Peterson, the Reds have not been great against lefties in the last month, but they've got great numbers against David Peterson over the years, and about 70 plate appearances, and Peterson's not been pitching well. I mean, he struggled mightily his last game. I'd say overall his last 3-4 starts have just not been great. Inconsistent control, 8 earned runs given up his last game against the Marlins. The Mets have lost 4 of his last 5 starts. On the other side, it's not easy going against this Mets lineup against a righty or a lefty. We've talked about their numbers against right-handed pitching, but they're almost as good against lefties as well in the last 30 days. So Andrew Abbott, who had a great start to the season, hasn't been as sharp recently, still has great numbers overall this year. I think the Mets get to him. I think we see runs early and late. Give me the over in Mets-Reds. Next up, we've got the Dodgers and the Orioles. We've got Tyler Glasnow and Dean Kramer as the starters. Not my favorite game on the board. Honestly, this game and the next game are not my favorites because we've got teams that have a big-time record advantage, starting pitching advantage, and they're going to be steep favorites. And that's what we see here at Kramer, giving up 15 earned runs his last 2 starts combined. Tyler Glasnow, I think the much better option in this game. 13 earned runs given up from Kramer his last 2 starts, and the Orioles have lost 4 of his last 5 games. I look for the Dodgers to get to Kramer enough to win this game and cover the run line. But like I said, the price isn't great, so I'll be passing on this one. Next up, we've got the Phillies and the Marlins. Like I said, also not my favorite game, as Christopher Sanchez is going to be pitching for Philadelphia. The Phillies should be giant favorites in this game, as he's been one of the better pitchers in the National League this year. And the Marlins, not only are they not playing great baseball as of late after that miserable series in D.C., but they're also facing a lefty where they've been dreadful against left-handed pitching in the last 30 days, and honestly overall this season. So I'll lean towards the Phillies on the run line in this one. Next up, the Seattle Mariners taking on the Atlanta Braves. We've got Logan Gilbert and Chris Sale as the starters. A great pitching matchup in this one. The Mariners' offense has not been great. We saw them struggle at Steinbrenner Field against the Rays, where they didn't do much of anything. And now you're facing Chris Sale, who returned from injury and pitched really well in that first start back. He's got great numbers against his current Mariners lineup. In about 70 plate appearances, a 43% strikeout rate, very low walk rate, 205 xWOBA, and a 142 expected batting average. But on the flip side, Logan Gilbert, in a very similar sample size, 75 plate appearances, good strikeout rate, low walk rate against his current Braves roster, with a 214 expected batting average. Great starting pitching matchup, solid bullpens. Give me the under in Mariners Braves. Next up, we've got the Guardians and the Rays. We've got Gavin Williams and Ian Seymour as the starters. Now, originally we thought that Williams was going to go on Thursday. He's moved to Friday. Still don't love this matchup for him against this Rays lineup that's been surging recently. You got Williams, who's got an ERA above 3.5 on the road compared to 3.0 at home, which isn't a big difference. But then you look at the underlying numbers, and honestly, the per nines, where his strikeouts, walks, and home runs per 9 are a lot worse on the road than they are at Progressive Field. A little bit steeper opponent's batting average as well. I think the Rays get to Williams. I think Seymour is going to be a decent option in this game, as he's been over the last couple of starts for Tampa Bay in 2 Rays victories and run line covers. One of those against these Cleveland Guardians back on August 25th. He went 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, only 1 base hit given up in a 9-0 victory. I'm going to go with the Rays here on the run line at Steinbrenner Field. Next up, the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals. We've got Joe Ryan and Michael Wacha as the projected starters. Now, Joe Ryan pitched really well in his last game. It was a bounce-back start for him against the San Diego Padres. 7 scoreless innings with 8 strikeouts. He's got great numbers against his current Royals lineup. He's pitched well against KC earlier this season. He had a start not too long ago, back on at the beginning of August 8th. 5 innings, 1 run, 5 strikeouts. That ended up being a high-scoring win for Minnesota. But up against Michael Wacha, I don't think we're going to see that here. I think Wacha pitches well against the Twins, as he did earlier in this season and as he's done in the past, where against his current Twins lineup, he's got a very low xWOBA in his career. So give me the under in Twins Royals. Next up, we've got the Giants and the Cardinals. We've got Carson Seymour and Michael McGreevy as the projected starters. 2 starting pitchers that haven't had a lot of work this year, have pitched more in the second half of the season. Of course, Seymour, just a couple of outings. He's got 24 2/3 innings on the season. not necessarily my favorite option, but I don't think McGreevy's an amazing option on the other side either. And I know he's pitched well enough to pick up wins in 4 of the last 5 starts for 4 of the last 5 games for St. Louis. But look at the strength of schedule of the teams he's faced. He pitched against the Rockies at Busch Stadium, the Marlins, the Pirates, and the Reds in his last 4 games. Not necessarily amazing matchups or amazing teams on the other side offensively. And Carson Seymour, while he may, like I said, not my favorite option, I think his lineup is a lot better right now. I mean, the Giants have been excellent offensively, and it's led them to, like I said, leapfrog the Reds in the National League standings, as they are now above 500 going into the series. They're playing, arguably, I mean, you can't say their best baseball this season after you look at their red-hot start to the beginning of the year, but their best baseball in a long time, in a few months for sure. And I think the Giants win this game and have a pretty good series. I'm going to go with San Francisco on the money line. Next up, we've got the Rockies and the Padres. Now, Kyle Freeland is listed right now. We'll see if he does get a suspension or if he's not able to pitch. I would not be surprised to see him get scratched from this outing. So, could be no official starter right now for Colorado. But Nick Pivetta should be going for San Diego. And really, that's enough for me to take the Rockies either team total over or plus the 1.5, 2.5 runs. Pivetta is just not a Coors Field starter. We saw it earlier in the season. We talked about his previous struggles at Coors Field. He pitched on May 11th this year against the Rockies, gave up 6 earned runs at Coors, a home run to go with it. It was a 9-3 win for Colorado at a time when the Rockies' offense was miserable. They weren't picking up a lot of wins. Obviously, they're still not picking up a ton of wins nowadays, but I think their lineup is in a much better place now than when it was in May, as they've gotten a healthier lineup. They've got some stars emerging like Hunter Goodman. So I think Pivetta's in trouble in this game. He's pitched really well this season, had probably a career year for Nick Pivetta, but he's not a Coors Field starter. He's given up at least 1 home run in 5 of his last 6 games. That's a problem when you're pitching at Coors. Give me the Rockies in this one. Next up, we've got the Athletics and the Angels. We've got Mason Barnett and Jose Soriano as the starters. Soriano's pitching well. The Angels have won his last 4 starts. He did pitch against the Athletics, though, on August 17th. It ended up being an Angels win, but he gave up in 5 2/3, 8 base hits, 5 earned runs, and 3 home runs. And you could say, he was pitching in Sacramento. It's a very hitter-friendly ballpark, but now you're pitching at Angel Stadium, where Soriano overall this year has struggled mightily, an ERA of 5.1 with a 2-7 record to go with it. So, Barnett's not my favorite option, but I think that the Athletics are going to bounce back from a tough series offensively against St. Louis, show up in this game, in this series. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair in this game and throughout this series. You got 2 solid lineups, but not necessarily great rotations or bullpens. So I lean towards the over, but I'm going to go with the A's in this one on the money line. Next up, we've got the Red Sox and the Diamondbacks. We've got Peyton Toll making his second start at the Major League level. Eduardo Rodriguez going for Arizona. Now, Rodriguez is not my favorite option, but the Diamondbacks have won 4 of his last 5 games. He pitched really well his last start against the Dodgers, 6 scoreless innings. The Red Sox in the last month have not been great against left-handed pitching offensively, and the Diamondbacks have. They've actually got great numbers against lefties in the last 30 days. So I think the Diamondbacks are the play in the first 5 innings. I do think Boston has a big-time bullpen advantage. So if this is a close game late, could get dicey for Arizona. But give me the Diamondbacks in the first 5 innings on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Friday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, we've got a great weekend of sports on tap. You can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com, and there is a link in the description. As always, this is Romanelli. Good luck.